Hi everyone, welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with a BI Rabbi. I'm Rabbi Adam Stein. I'll take this off, but just want to show you my great Hanukkah menorah, my Chanukiah mask here. You know what? I'm smiling, but actually I've been a bit sad the past few days. Well, I was happy for my son's birthday today, but at the end of last week, a major figure in the world of the arts and theater and music and musical theater passed away at, I think, the age of 91. Stephen Sondheim, Jewish guy who influenced musical theater and Broadway in huge ways. For me, one of the most influential ways, honestly, was West Side Story. By the way, on the past few days, came across this in the New York Times that in New York and probably elsewhere too, piano bars filled up with people who just wanted to be with other people who loved Sondheim's music, and they just sang the songs from those musicals over and over again with tears in their coming down from their eyes. West Side Story, though, it was just such an event, and now a new version of it is coming out soon, a new movie. But the original movie, look, the stage version was amazing in itself, but the original movie won 10 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It was really ahead of its time. I read a quote from the someone from the Tisch School of the Arts at NYU, really ahead of its time. And the movie was, says this professor, in the crosshairs of the zeitgeist. And what does he mean by that? You know, the authors, this was Arthur Levine and Stephen Sondheim, of course, and others who put this together. They had a gang in New York, people who were more from a white Caucasian background and a Puerto Rican gang clashing, and then, of course, a guy and a girl from rival gangs fall in love, because the whole thing is based on West Side Story. But what you might not know, and I don't know if all the people in the 45,000 productions of West Side Story that have been staged around the world, I don't know if they knew this either, but it was originally going to be about Jews and Catholics in New York City. Not just about Jews and Catholics, but on Easter and Passover weekend. It was going to be called East Side Story. That's what Jerome Robbins, one of the original people involved in it, thought of. And what an amazing thing. The playwright, Arthur Lawrence, now, he came along and he thought maybe more people would watch a show about a white gang and a Puerto Rican gang. Maybe so, but it would have been such a powerful thing to have the Jewish-Catholic tension on the streets. But whether it's about the Puerto Ricans or the Catholics or the Jews, there's a picture I found, an original version of Romeo and Juliet, a copy that one of the original authors of the show had. And he wrote in there, I think this is Leonard Bernstein, one of the composers. He wrote, "This is an out-and-out plea for racial tolerance." Wow, amazing. The musical Sunday in the Park with George and Into the Woods is one of my favorites. I've done sermons on that one, and West Side Story and so many others that Sondheim was involved in. He was just a young guy when he helped write the music for West Side Story, and what an amazing thing. He had to be convinced to get involved in it, actually. And it makes me think a bit of our Torah portion too, because Joseph, in this week's parasha, he gets to be the head of Egypt, practically number 2 under Pharaoh, to lead them through this time of famine. And what a thing. He's come up with a solution when interpreting the dreams, and Pharaoh says, "You be in charge." But he has this clash with his brothers. They come to get food, and he says, "Well, I don't know. I want to see your father." "No, we can't bring our father." "I want to see your youngest brother." It's really his youngest brother who he yearns to see. And then he accuses them of stealing. You have to go back and forth. But what's happening is they're having a clash of cultures, just like in these musicals like West Side Story. But it's a clash of cultures even between brothers, because Joseph has become part of Egyptian culture, just like Moses does later. But he still feels this connection to his brothers, even though they sold him off into slavery those many years past. So some great lessons for us, amazing lessons in these musicals of Sondheim who leave such a legacy. Of course, Joseph, it seems like the story of Joseph could be a musical itself, but we know that it is. Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, that was by different composers, Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber, who had such influence themselves. I want to tell you about a great program we have coming up, not tomorrow night, not tonight on Friday night or tomorrow night, Saturday night. We have great programs then, Shabbat and our big Hanukkah program on Saturday night. But the following Friday night, the 10th of December, Shabbat with Sam. We have two of these coming up, 10th of December and the 11th of February. Sam is Samantha Levine, daughter of our longtime program director and membership manager, Gaynor Levine. And Sam is working at Talmud Torah now, overseeing their Judaic programming and teaching. And she's going to do a great service, sing-along Friday night service for families, and they're going to have a wonderful dinner. So please consider coming to that December 10th and the 11th of February. And let's maybe keep some of these songs from these great musicals in our hearts and in our minds in the next week. Shabbat Shalom and Chanukah Sameach.